So what are you thinking about the this feminism in Overwatch then? All this has just kicked off over a character's pose. You know, is there not enough like drama and trouble in the world that somebody's got to get offended by a pose, and that's literally all it is.
Well, I think the thing is like when it first came out that they released the image and stuff, and I mean we come from a sort of rollers and a time of games like Dead or Alive, the Bikini Edition and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I mean, for people like us, it's sort of normal because we've grown up with like RPGs that overemphasize women's bodies and parts and stuff. So when the pose actually came out and people sort of started going, yeah, really like it, really like it. I think there was actually, and don't quote me on this, but there's only one post on the Blizzard forums which actually stated about this whole you're exploiting the women's bodies and what's this showing as a female when I'm a size 18 gamer in my bedroom that plays video games. Well, probably just stereotyped all female gamers, but they're not all like that. But this is what the post was actually saying is that I'm a larger lady that likes to play video games, and um, it doesn't do my confidence any good seeing characters like Tracer stood there with a slim build and looking cool. So
Seriously, is that what it was? Is that all it was? So somebody's got butt hurt because a imaginary character has got a fitter and tidier body than her. Wow, that's what you call personal issues, mate. That's nothing to do with the industry. How many characters? You can go back. You can look at like Samus in Metroid. You could look at Chun Li and Cammy, just to name a few. Sia in believe it's called her name's Sia, might be pronounced differently in Hyrule Warriors. If you ever played that game, and when she first appears and she's there, tits are just booming. Um, Nobody complained about that. It wasn't taken out. It wasn't anything in that. It's just, I don't know. I can't believe that. That's actually more cheesy than what I thought. I thought it was some butthurt mum who didn't like their daughter or son seeing that sort of
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. So basically, they came out and said, I'm going to try and find the post while we're on. They came out and said, um, that they were upset by what this pose was actually what this was standing out for and stuff. So um, she started by basically saying, so I want to start off by saying I think the development team has done a pretty good job with the cast of female heroes in Overwatch. They're diverse, interesting, compelling. With that being said, let's talk about Tracer. So they named a few characters. So then they put, what about this pose is to anything to do with the character you're building in Tracer? It's not fun, it's not silly, it has nothing to do with being a fast elite killer. It just reduces Tracer to being another bland female sex symbol. We aren't looking at the Widowmaker pose here. This isn't a character who is part defined by flaunting her sexuality. This pose says to the player base, oh, we've got all these cool diverse characters, but at any moment we are willing to reduce them to sex symbols to help boost our investment in the game. I have a young daughter that every day when I wake up wants to watch the Recall trailer again. She knows who Tracer is, and as she grows up, she can grow up alongside these characters. What I'm asking is that as you continue to add to the Overwatch cast and invest elements, you double down on your commitment to create strong female characters. You have been doing a good job so far, but shipping with a Tracer pose like this undermines so much of the good you've already done. Blah, 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 blah. It's not that a female is being sexualized that makes me uncomfortable with the pose. I'm 100% for it when it's appropriate, but this particular hero's personality seems saying she rambles on about how Tracer seems a bit more of a deadly killer than just standing there looking sexy on a pose. I mean, as much as sexy as a computer graphic picture can be. Uh,
Wow. So basically,
Wow.
and I mean, that's
So
just
basically,
the blah, blah, blah. I mean, we go on, and she goes on about her body issue, and I mean, there's a couple of posts about that and stuff. So,
it's just somebody getting
so
put
this is
over
the thing.
nothing at the end of the day.
over nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go this way, right? Okay, so Jeff Kaplan, the director of the game, came out and made a statement, and he goes on about While I stand by, I realise I should have been more clear. As the game director, I have final creative say over what does or does not go into the game. With this particular decision, it was an easy one to make, not just for me, but for the art team as well. We actually already had an alternative pose that we love and feel speaks more about the character of Tracer. Nice one, Jeff. Good backtracking there. We actually already have we weren't entirely happy with the original pose. It was always one that we wrestled with creatively. That the pose had been called upon into question from an appropriate standpoint by players in the community did not influence our decision. Getting that kind of feedback is part of the reason we're holding a closed beta test. But it wasn't the only factor. We made the decision to go with a different pose in part because we shared some of the same concerns, but also because we wanted to create something better. We wouldn't do anything to sacrifice our creative vision for Overwatch, but we're not going to remove something solely because someone takes an issue with it. Our goal isn't to water down the world or diverse the cast of heroes we've built. We have poured so much of our heart and souls into this game that it would be a travesty for us to do so. We understand that not everyone will agree with our decision, and that's okay. That's what these kind of public tests are for. This wasn't pandering or caving. This was just the right call from our perspective, and we think the game will be just as fun the next time you play it. If it isn't, feel free to continue sharing your concerns, thoughts and feedback about this and other issues you may have within the game, but please just remember to keep things respectful. Thanks, Jeff.
So this is a problem with the world today, you know. Everybody gets so upset about nothing. And basically all that is nothing. But somebody's always got to complain. You know, I've always got to be offended. If you don't want to be offended, stay the fuck off the internet. You know, because every single day there's something happening, whether it'll be a meme that's being shared. So look at that thing the other day with the Lad Bible where they shared that meme of Wentworth Miller. So yeah, the guy's got issues. You kind of understand that, but the amount of people who jump on that bandwagon and get mad about that is ridiculous. You know, they weren't even there when it first happened, but because they've seen it after that, then they jump on the bandwagon. Oh, I'm offended. Well, if you was going to get offended by it, don't fucking look at it in the first place. You know, and if your daughter sits there and wants to watch a trailer over and over and over again because she wants to be like that person, there could be worse people that she wants to be like in the world rather than a video game character. So I don't know. Just butthurt people. Just do my head in.
Yeah, I had this conversation with a friend of mine, a friend of ours actually, and I said to him, you know, I looking at me, I'm not, you know, beefy bow, you know, I'm not Arnie, you know, I haven't got muscles and stuff, you know, but a lot of characters that I play in computer games do. Yeah. You know, the guy from Gears of War. You know, some of these characters in Overwatch, they're big, beefy men with biceps, you know, up here, and they're over-dramatised reality. It's taking reality and blowing it up. So for me, it's like, I don't, you know, I could take umbrage to that and say, well, I want to play a skinny guy with dodgy glasses and a weird haircut.
Yeah.
But while you do that, I don't like that pose because he's flexing muscles, and that's, you know, that's making all men look a bit, you know, we're not just muscle machines, you know, there are men in here as well.
When you played Street Fighter 2 Turbo back in the day when you was a kid, who did you play as? Did you play as Ryu and Ken? Yeah, because they were popular characters who you enjoyed to play with. Or did you play as Zangief because he was a big muscular guy, you know, a sort of like T-shaped sort of body? No, you didn't play as him. Did you play as Dawson because he was skinny and bald like me? No, because he fits my description. No, you play as who you feel comfortable playing as and who you enjoy, not because that's what fits your stereotype.
I mean, and then the other thing as well is Tracer as a character. I mean, she's on my screen now. I'm looking at her. If someone's actually looking at that in a sexual way, right? Seriously, if someone's looking at this cartoon character and seeing and feeling, for more of the term, turned on or sexually thinking about this character, a bit sick.
How many times have you watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit in slow-mo, Jessica? Come on, dude. Jessica Rabbit, man.
Yeah, granted. Yeah, but you know, you take again, it's just a heightened fantasy. This is what we play video games for, because there's things that we can't do in our actual life, and they heighten
Like
fantasy.
Lara Croft, how many people do you know alter the camera so you can like, look up a skirt and down a cleavage and various angles of a body?
Well, yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but I think there's one thing like being a teenage kid and looking at Lara Croft. I think the new Lara Croft in the new games is hyper realistic, and they've made her look very attractive. But it's not a sexual thing. What they're trying to point across here is that this sexuality that this character is actually portraying in this pose is taking away how strong of a female she is. And it's like we're living in the world of the suffragettes again,
Yeah.
And it's like, seriously, I can't turn on one video game without seeing a guy with bleached blonde hair, big biceps, and a six pack. I don't care. It's just a heightened fantasy of this thing that we want to live out, So I just think, I mean, the internet's wonderful for a load of things, and to be able to do things like this and what we do over the Gamer Shack, but I think sometimes it's caused a lot of issues in the sense that people with stupid views have the platform and the soapbox to climb onto quite easy and portray those views to the general public and get things like this, which, I mean, I think there's a term, and I'm going to leave the term on this, and then I'll let you take over. Is first world problems.
Yeah, that's all it boils down to, mate. At the end of the day, somebody with nothing else better to do in their lives, nothing else better going on with their lives, finding something to cry about.
Yeah, and they just need to get out more and see the world through a different set of eyes. Because seriously, this is just slightly ridiculous.
Yeah.